It's just so crazy that men who love their wives are called gay or peewit. Like, do men even realize, like cishet men, when they do this, right? They shame men who love women and call them gay. Do they even understand how that makes no sense? Like, I understand that it is rooted in misogyny and homophobia, and all this is tied to white supremacy culture anyway. But it makes no sense. Look what someone just said about my husband just today, like 5 minutes ago. I took a screenshot. Okay, so this is from our, the photo app, and it was like us at a casino for the first time because we're experiencing a lot of firsts. We got married in the pandemic. Like, we went straight from dating to living together, then getting married, and now we're kind of like doing everything backwards, because we were trapped inside with police enforced, like literally had to have permission slips to leave the house. I got pulled over all the time. I got in trouble for going more than a kilometer from the house. Like, it was crazy, right? So we have it's fun to go out and like do all these firsts. We went to a movie theater for the first time ever as a couple. That's when we saw Barbie. So I was like, we went to a monster truck rally because I was like, oh, got to see what this looks like in France. Like, it was hilarious. This is like one of the best pictures my husband's ever taken of me. And it's so like it's like perfect. I'm from the South. A lot of my families are like redneck and love NASCAR and all this stuff. So, I had to show him my roots. We also went to a wrestling match, a French wrestling match. Yo, I got to do you want videos on this? Because this was fascinating, to be honest. These videos take a long time and they usually don't do well because if I'm not complaining about men, no one cares. But I love doing travel content. So if you want this, let me know. And hopefully the algorithm will send your way. But we did all this fun stuff, including going to a casino, which we did not actually have fun at because we both realized that having ADHD and being really, being very sensitive to stimulation, this is a nightmare. And also, it was lame compared to like Vegas and places I've been. And also, it's gross, like capitalism at its worst. It's disgusting. So I'm talking about that in this post and how we're like doing all these fun things together, but like hate even things that suck. We hate together and that's fun. In the post, I included going and getting pizza, and Anthony had duck pizza. This is France, y'all. And then this is what this dude had to say. It says, "Does your man know he's gay? Or is this like one of those last to find out situations?" Now I head on over to Danny's page. DM for business only. No meetups, no nudity. Like, what? First of all, it's a private account, but what are you? And you have Hello Kitty as your... Like, you're calling my husband gay, which, by the way, is a compliment, okay? I love gay men. A lot of my friends are gay. They've taught me more about relationships than any cishet person ever has. But like, what? Like, do you all see how crazy this is? And here's the thing, and Anthony and I talk about this all the time. So for the longest time, people thought I was either asexual or a lesbian because I just didn't mess with men. That was during my long, like 12-year stretch that was interrupted by a few terrible hookup situations. But 12 of my adult years, I didn't hook up with men. I didn't kiss men. I didn't mess around with them. I literally just did what I wanted to do, which was climbing, traveling, doing fun stuff, moving to New York to pursue comedy, all of my dreams. And none of those were derailed by men. And people literally accuse me, men, of being asexual or a lesbian. Now, I'm not offended by either of those terms because I would be proud of those if that's what I was. But I always was like, what's wrong with me? Now, there was some childhood essay problems and all that stuff, which is also feeding into a lot of that. But I've always been a tomboy. I've always been kind of like the dude in my relationship. I don't know if it's because I have more testosterone. I don't know what it is. I don't care. But it's always been in my head. And so I question myself on a regular basis. Do I like women? Do I like want to hook up women with women? And do I feel romantic towards women? Like, I ask myself that because I want to make sure that I'm not like living some lie. And no, it's just that I never met men that were worth my time. And even though men have done nothing more or less, with the exception of a few, my husband being one of them, have done nothing but like terrorizing me or traumatize me or just exploit me on some level. For some reason, I'm still attracted to them. I know, it doesn't make any sense, but I am. And Anthony has asked himself that too. Like me, he's had a lot of gay friends in his life. And so he's been in the LGBTQ community, like in community with, friends with, people from various sexual orientations, different genders, right? In his men's group, there's a trans man, there's a couple bisexual men, there's a gay man. I forget all the details, but it's a very diverse group of men. But and he too has questioned himself a lot. We talk about this, how I think it's important to question yourself on a regular basis. Am I still like straight? Yep. You know what I mean? And so, because I think not questioning that, just being like, no, I'm straight, like that's not healthy. Look at this little baby. He looks so sad all the time. He's literally in paradise right now. Aren't you? Y'all, look at this dress. Look at this dress. It cost me $5. And the thing is that I think about this a lot because so many, it feels like we just compliment each other and that I'm like a total tomboy and like a mess, and like don't care about jewelry and don't care about like a lot of things. Like it's amazing that I'm wearing a dress right now. I actually enjoy wearing dresses now because I do think it's fun to like be colorful and play it, whatever. But haven't worn makeup. I've worn makeup at my wedding and and other than that, I haven't worn them since I was like 16, right? So I'm like, like this, like I love being dirty and muddy and climbing. Blah. My husband is like very like masculine. Even I don't even like the way we say masculine, feminine because it's so messed up now. But he is like such a like man, right? But he's also the nurturer of the two of us. He's like soft. He's the one who sends like a 5 hearts in his every single text. He can't just send like a. I'm always like, yeah, no, blah. And he's always like, hey, baby, blah, blah, blah. Like he's affectionate. Part of that's because he's French. But anyway, so we question ourselves regularly. Like, is there anything wrong with us? No, there's nothing wrong with us. We are being our authentic selves and that's fine. But the fact that men are so threatened by men like my husband that they're like, you're gay, like just because he loves women and because he's comfortable with himself and because he's not afraid to express emotion and love and stuff like that. That is so messed up to me. And that's one of the things we need to change. If you want to read more about this, more examples of it, I wrote this for Glamour several years ago. I actually have way more examples now because I wrote this a while back. But this is about me being the dude in our relationship. And I love that I met someone who lets me be the dude and that he is comfortable in who he is and he's not ashamed of it. And he's not like, think there's anything wrong with being an affectionate, loving man. That men have got to, y'all have so much healing to do. And it's not only just healing your trauma, you have to deconstruct patriarchy and heal from the trauma of patriarchy. Because the fact that you think that a man is gay because he respects women and loves women, and also that gay is bad, right? Because that's what he's implying. And that in and of itself is offensive. Like, y'all, cishet men, if you don't want to die alone, you've got to pick up the pace, man. We are outpacing you. The whole world is going to leave you behind. You are becoming obsolete. Nobody is going to want you. Nobody is going to take care of you because women like me and my mutuals on here and like tons of other women out there are telling the truth about what men do to us when they go unchecked. And women are healing. And the more women heal, the less of your BS they're going to put up with. So get with it. Or continue to be dead inside and hate us and terrorize us. And then when you're old and there's no one to take care of you and you're regretting all your decisions, but it's women. How hard is it to admit you're wrong, bro? God.